in this tip. I'm talking about how I get power in the swing. So when people come in for lessons, you know, I'm watching them. They don't hit it very far. These are typically senior golfers. You know, I do have some younger players, but younger players are, you know, they're typically hitting it with a decent move and they've got some distance. All right. I'm talking about your person trying to swing at it. Really they don't hit it very far, you know, maybe 180, 200 yards with driver, you know, 7-iron goes 130, you know, maybe 140. All right, so let's say I've been working with this person. All right, so at some point in the lesson, I'm going to grab, usually when we go up to driver, I'm going to grab their driver. All right, and what I'm trying to show them is how I'm getting the power. All right, I get the bulk of the power through hinging and rehinging. Hinging and rehinging. This snaps or whips. Okay, that's where I get the power, most of it. All right, so what I do, I hit some easy shots. Okay, so let's say the person's hitting it, you know, with their driver like 200. All right, so I step up with their driver, I go like this, I go watch, here we go. And when I do that, that usually goes about 240. Okay, so I fly it by them with just that little flick. Okay, you can see there, I'm not even really trying to use my body. So what I then explain to them is, when I add body, I don't get double the distance, okay? I get another 10 or 20%, okay? I don't get double, all right? So what does that mean? Well, that means I'm generating most of the power through the hinging and rehinging of the golf club. So watch, I'll go like this, all right? Again, not gonna try and rotate and do a full swing. I'm just hinging and kind of snapping the club. Okay, so watch this right here. So person comes out, I grab their club, I do that. Again, that's about 240 right there. And that was really no body, no real hard driving of my body. All right, so now if I was gonna go top speed, okay? So in watching that one, I know you can't see it here, but that's probably about in that 240 range. All right, so now I do my real swing. Okay, so here I am, like this. Okay, and typically I'm gonna fly it 270, 280. All right, and that was pretty straight, right in that, you know, typical area that I normally hit it. So 240, let's say up to 270, that'd be a 30-yard gain, 280, 40-yard gain. I wouldn't hit it 480 yards once I start adding body, right? I wish I could, but I don't. So I go from 240 doing the easy swing up to 270 or 280, we're talking on the fly here, you know, when I start firing my lower body, okay? So that is a 30 or 40 yard gain. You see what I mean? So what would be a huge piece of this that you should be working on if you want to get this effortless swing? Well, wouldn't it be the hinging and rehinging that I keep talking about? Hinge, rehinge, hinge, snap your wrists, hinge, you know, feel like it's extending out, throwing the golf club, you know? Club should feel heavy. I keep talking about this. Flip your club upside down, do some swings up in the air, then flip it this way, your clubs are gonna feel heavy. See your arms as string tied around a golf club. Tie a string around here and go like that. Your arms would be loose. Wrists, make a L, backwards L, L, backwards L. Your wrists are a hinge. All right, so you gotta keep doing it over and over. Hinge, rehinge, hinge, rehinge, hinge, snap it, hinge, snap it. All right, so you unlock your wrists. That's what's giving me the bulk of the power. All right, again, when I add body, okay, full coil, fire the hips, I get another 30 or 40 yards. That's very important. But if I can hit it 240 with nothing, and you're sitting there whacking at it as hard as you can, and you hit it 200 to 220 using everything you've got, I'm doing it a different way. So that's the way you want to learn. You want to start doing it a different way, okay? I'm not, doing some superhuman move. If I was doing some superhuman move and you couldn't do it, then I'd say, you know what, you probably can't do it. But you should be able to go like this, hinge and rehinge, hinge, rehinge. All you have to do is loosen up the hinge. All right? So I would become obsessed with that. Over and over, hinge, rehinge, hinge. I've got tons of tips on the channel about doing this. All right? That is where I'm getting the power. Okay? I get more when I add the body. All right? It's very important that you have your body in it, but I'm not getting double. Okay? So just wanted to explain that to you. I know a lot of people are following me and trying to figure it out. Okay? I'm just trying to do everything I can to describe the concept of a powerful, effortless, pain-free golf swing, okay? We are doing this swing or learning this swing because I want you to do it for life, all right? Life. If I can do 0, put nothing into it, and hit it, like I was saying, 240, when I'm 95 years old, I'll still be able to do that, okay? Most of my students hit it maybe 180, 220 on the high end. That's it. So, but they're just basing it on physical strength, and I am not doing that. I am creating this hinging and rehinging action. So I would become obsessed with it. I would be doing that every day at home. You do not need to come out here and hit golf balls. Okay? So just sit there every night. Oh man, he's telling me hinge, rehinge. Hinge. Think. It's a hinge. What would a hinge do? Well, a hinge, like a hinge on your door. It would hinge. It would rehinge. Your hinge would be loose. Okay? You don't have rusty hinges. So you got to unlock that hinge to create that whipping action or release, faster release. So you get the club head speed as well. Then you add a little bit of body and you get even more. Okay? Hopefully you understand it and you're going to keep working on this. I know what's out there. I know what people are trying to do, and that stuff is not going to work. Okay? You need the looseness to create the club head speed. So if you start working on it, you'll have it, and then you'll be able to hit it longer and straighter for life. I truly hope you've enjoyed this tip. I've been teaching a powerful, effortless, pain-free golf swing now since 1991. If you'd like to learn this type of swing, then click on this link right here or click the link in the description below, and I'll send you some free samples of my body swing book and video series that take you step by step by step through how to build a powerful, effortless, pain-free golf swing.